It worked in Coming to America. Not really. No, never mind. They thought he was going to sow his wild oats, but he found love at McDowell's. Bed, love, bed,
love,
beyond, bed, love, beyond, bed, love, beyond.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Bed Love Beyond, the podcast for the hopeful and the hater in us to discuss sex, love, and whatever's clever with like-minded people like you who are also in limbo with love,
like us.
Thank you for listening to us on Podbean, iTunes, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, and
Google Play Music.
Please rate, review, like, and subscribe to us on any of the devices that you listen to. All right, so this episode is episode 75. Is sowing your wild oats necessary on the journey to finding love?
I don't know.
She was like, yeah, that face was like...
I think it depends how old you are.
Ooh, okay, that's good. All right. Yeah, no, but we're definitely going to get into it. And thank you for everybody who...
It worked in Coming to America. Not really. No, never mind. They thought he was going to sow his wild oats, but he found love at McDowell's.
Yes. So we're going to be talking about that because
why not?
Yeah, well, why not? But also, this sparked in me, and I wrote it down. I was like, oh, let me write that. It's because so we'll just get into that and the Daily Dish at the same time. It was because, for me, I've caught the lonely bug.
Aww.
All right. Stupid.
That was genuine.
Huh?
That was genuine. I felt bad for a second.
I caught the lonely bug, and I was just like, man. It's like, yo, I really miss, like, having, like, a female companion, you know what I mean? Or, like, having female interaction. But, of course, we've surmised...
Do you just mean you just miss sex?
No, I'm going through it.
Okay.
So, but I surmised that, like, yo, you know, throughout these podcasts, I've said that I am in no position to facilitate a relationship, you know, right now, because I ain't got the funds, you know, like, yo, like, seriously, like, life just hits me hard. I have a crap job. It's just crap, and I can't take a chick out anywhere, you know. And yes, there are things out there, like, we don't, you know, like, there's things that are for free, blah, 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 but come on, like, stop fronting. You need money to go out on dates, and you need money to do shit, all right? So stop. So I don't have that. And yeah, but sometimes, you know, just like I would want to, you know, just go out with a chick and whatever, interact with her, have fun, and stuff like that. But on a romantic like type thing too, you know, not necessarily like a friend thing, because I do miss that. And I have seen that while hanging out with friends that are girls. You know, I'm just like, man, this would be really cool if it was like quote unquote real. You know?
Thanks.
Anyway.
If you were a real girl, this would have been fun.
No. But I'm telling you, I miss like I guess like the love aspect, the passion of it, you know? Like, it's cool. It's obviously cool hanging out with a girl, but you know, like you want something more. And yeah, the other aspect is too, yeah, sex. Sex is awesome. You know, I miss that too. But like, yeah, I remember I was talking to somebody about it, and I thought I wouldn't be able to word it correctly on here, but I have it. Where are you? Right here. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, because she was saying that she was in the same boat, that like, she, you know, she's messing with, you know, she's like dating guys and stuff, but for her, it even though like the sex is great and stuff, like it still doesn't feel real. Not to say that it didn't have like passion or like the sex was whack, but it didn't have like I guess the realness to it. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. Like now, I've been fiending for some female interaction, companionship, and or sexual, but I know I'm not in a good standing to have a full-blown relationship, but I know I couldn't keep that friends with benefits lifestyle because I would just be craving the real thing.
You should be a side chick. A side dude.
That's why, even though the cuddling job is good, because I remember I would always want to do the cuddling job. That's why I don't or can't do it, because I want that closeness and I think I'm getting something from it, but in the end, I know it's fake. And
I was just gonna go into full Lincoln Park.
Oh, in the end, it doesn't even matter. R.I.P. to Chester. Yes, that's messed
indeed.
up. But yeah, because like I was thinking about that too. I was like, oh, maybe I should do the freaking cuddling job. You know, it's good money. I can do it. People love my cuddles. But I was like, nah, because...
Can we get written testimony?
Huh?
Can we get written testimony that people love your cuddles?
I could text somebody and they'll say that that's a fact. But
facts.
But yeah, I couldn't do it because like I would want more. You know, and also too, I remember way back, I forget what episode it was. Remember when I did the fake girlfriend thing?
Mm-hmm.
I did it because I wanted I don't want to say attention, but I guess appreciation. You know, I needed it, but I knew going in it was fake, but it still felt good.
Absolutely.
You know, so I was just like, damn, I'm really missing that. And that's something that just a regular girlfriend can't supply. And then so I was thinking, I was like, man, so I was like, maybe I do either need like, I guess either a friend with benefits or like you said, be a side dude or something like that. But and then that started getting me on thinking about, you know, my experience like with sex, not like my performance, but just like my lack of. And I started out really late in the game. I'm definitely a late bloomer, and I was just thinking, I was like, it's interesting because I've always been afraid of, let's say if I did get tied down, would I not regret the decision, but like would I fiend for more?
I'm just saying. I mean, Noble Casalupis doesn't live here anymore, but I mean, maybe he can just like teach you how to like go out and just, you know, party and fuck bitches.
No, see, because that just sounds bad.
Because it is, but I mean, like,
no, but that's what it is. But that's the dilemma, because I'm saying like, do guys need to do that?
But you might find chicks who are just not like, maybe they might be younger chicks. But, like, maybe you'll find girls who are, like, you know, okay with that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I was just interested. I was just interested because I remember that's my biggest fear, to, like, be commit. Because I don't want to. I mean, I'm not afraid of commitment and getting married. I do want to do all that, married, kids, and all that stuff. But then I'm afraid. I'm like, yo, did I miss out on anything? Am I gonna like start looking elsewhere?
I can't say because I feel like I've done enough, you know?
Right, yeah.
But I wonder always, like, if there's people who are out there that are like, oh. Like, I've seen people who are like, oh, we've been together since high school. But, like, you ain't fucking nobody else since high school?
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And not even about the sexual experience, but, like, you know, just dating and learning to do different things.
Yeah.
Like.
Or learning about yourself. That's what dating does.
Me and my ex-boyfriend are friendly, and like sometimes like he'll like not tell me about his like dating extravaganzas, but I know he's having them.
Yeah. And
I almost wish he had them before. Although he did tell me that it's not fair to judge somebody based on lack of experience. I was like, not judging. It's just kind of facts. Like there was things that he didn't experience, so that he didn't know that these things happen in a relationship.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like X, Y, and Z, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, so he didn't experience them. So when they started happening, he was like, what? And I don't like that men think that like women want to like take over their life. It's like, no, we don't want to take over your life, but sometimes like you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Mm-hmm. Like you think you know what you're doing, but you really just don't. You're just being like not mindful and just reckless, and like there's a better way to do it, and I'm just giving you a suggestion.
Yeah.
Like there's a faster, quicker, more sufficient way to do X, Y, and Z, but you're just like, I'm gonna do it my way because that's what makes sense to me because I haven't really thought about it and I just want to get it done. And you're like, no, but if we do X, Y, and Z, then it will be done and we won't have to do it again. And guys just don't think. But then as soon as like a woman says something, they're like, what? You want to take over my life? You want to control me? And I'm like, no. But if you would have been in enough relationships, you would have known that sometimes, like, if you just stop talking and listen to your woman, that she might actually have a good idea.
Right.
But if you don't have enough relationships to experience that and go through the withdrawal of, I'm not giving up my freedom, I'm sharing something with somebody else. This isn't about giving up who you are. It's about sharing who you are with somebody else and just accepting the fact that sometimes the other person may know you a little better. For instance, the other night, this has really nothing to do with sowing your oats. So I don't think my boyfriend has been in a lot of relationships. I know he had like a couple of long-term relationships.
Okay.
So the other night he was like, well, we're going to go out. I'm like, okay. And he's like, well, when we get done going out, we're going to come back home and I'm going to make my lunch for tomorrow for work. And I was like, why don't you just make your lunch now? So, we're going to go out and have a couple drinks and get home late. And it's going to be time for bed so you can just go right to bed. Why? Why would I do that? Like, why wouldn't you do that, dude? Like, and it's just like, he was just like, I just want to go and like get it over with. I'm like, that's fine, but you're not going to want to later. I know you're not going to want to.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then like the plan was we were at his house already and then we were going to go back to my house. Yeah. And I was like, well, I'm just going to leave when I get here. And then he like thought I was just like leaving altogether. Like, oh, you're not going to stay with me? I'm like, well, you're coming back to my house. Like, I haven't been home since this morning. But it's just like guys get like so like flustered and like think that like I'm trying to like control his way of life. And I'm like, no, it just made more sense for you to cook the dinner now. And when I come back, drop you off at your car and then we go back to my house. Yeah. So you don't have to go upstairs, cook and pack it up. Like if you just take 10 minutes to do it now, we're good. And, and it's just like, I feel like sometimes if you've been in enough relationships, you would know, like he's only cohabitated with one person. Yeah. And I feel like these things. Like my ex didn't cohabitate with anyone. It was the first person ever. Okay. And he never technically lived on his own. Okay. So when I moved in, I just felt like there was like a bunch of things that he didn't get or he didn't know. And I feel like you might be like a little different because I think like you're more along my thinking lines and like how you want it to be. Like you want it to be like a shared responsibility. Yeah. But
I can adapt. I mean.
Right, but I think like some guys who have it in their head like, I have a little man cave and no one's allowed in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is where I live. Yeah. And I feel like it's part of it. And then I think Sowing Your Oats is part of it, and maybe even in a sexual way, because you might find someone who you're completely in love with, but they don't want to have anal sex and they don't want to do some of the weird shit that you might have wanted to try in life.
That's and true. Yeah.
It's like you love them, but like, are you gonna start like looking at them like pissy because they don't want to do it? Yeah. Like in every guy's head, they want to try X, Y, and Z. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. But now you found this like wonderful woman who's gonna like bear your children and be down for you forever, which is what every man should want, paramount to anything else. But she don't want to.
I'm playing.
Okay, that face.
I'm playing.
I mean, like.
I just wanted to do that to get that reaction.
I'm like, what the fuck? But like, they don't want anything in their butt, or they don't want to be like tied to the bed or anything crazy.
Yeah.
Then like, what happens? Are you just gonna be like, I really want to experience that in life? Like, some things you should try, but some things if you're completely uncomfortable with, like, what the fuck? Yeah. Don't come to me when you're 50 years old and like, hey, want to do it in the butt? No, I don't.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
I'll die. I don't want
to. Every man has a sexual fantasy, multiple, whatever. But every dude wants to try almost everything that they've seen in porn, and that's the truth. That's the truth. Like, you're absolutely right. You might find a chick who's down for you, whatever, and you're like, man, this chick is amazing. Then you're like, yo, I want to try, X, Y, and Z, and she's like, never do X, maybe Y if I'm drunk. Z, nah. Right. And you're like, damn, I really wanted to try that though. Like, are you really gonna like leave that chick to find some like, to find some chick who will do those things? You know what I mean? So no, you're absolutely right. And I remember when I was with my ex-fiance, and this was like really early on, like 2 months in. When we were going out, and I really liked her. I really liked her. She liked me too. But then when I realized that, I was like, yo, I got super scared. I was just like, oh my God, like, how about if this is it? Like, she's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I haven't done anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I haven't done anything or whatever. And I don't know why I felt like I needed to feel like, oh, I have to do everything before this.
Right.
You know, and like we had a tiff about that. Because I almost broke up with her because of that.
Damn.
You know, and it's nothing that she did or whatever, but it's just so much the fact that like I wanted to make sure I did everything. But then, not devil's advocate, but on the other end of the spectrum, I feel as, I guess I have to like pose the question is like, is that better to experience everything and then like you're like, okay, all right, I'm done with everything, blah blah. I guess I'll get married now. Like, how does that make the woman feel that you want to be with now? Okay, I've done everything. You're left.
Right. I don't know.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I get it.
So it's like, shouldn't it be more like, whoa, I haven't experienced everything. This woman made me stop. Right. And it's like, I'm gonna be with her. Yeah, I didn't whatever fuck somebody up with the ass or blah blah blah, do anything like that. But you know what? I don't need to. I'm with her. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I
don't know either. I don't know. But we will get into that, apparently.
No. We definitely will. So that was my daily dish and thing. Do you have a daily dish? Well, I know you do.
I do.
So I didn't want you to tell me this because I wanted first reactions on the on the show. But you did tell me a little snippet. But go ahead.
Okay. So, yeah. So I went out the other night with my boyfriend, and a lot of times, you know, like I think I've mentioned on the podcast, like sometimes like I've had some medical issues and I haven't been feeling well. And I feel like the couple times that like his friends have come into town, you know, I haven't been feeling well. And sometimes like I'm willing to go and, you know, he's like, no, I'd feel like an asshole if we go, you know, like let's just home. And I always kind of like feel bad. So even though I had a super long day on Friday, he's like, oh, my friend's here from Florida. You know, can we go meet up with him? And I was like, absolutely, let's go. Like, you know, I want to like start this weekend off right, and that's something you want to do. Let's do it. Let's do what you want to do. Absolutely.
And this will be the first time you've met this friend?
No, I've met him two other times. Once when he came from Florida to visit, and a bunch of people got together, and I met a bunch of his other friends and hung out with his brother. And then another time when him and I had gone on vacation. To Florida where his friend lives, I invited his friend over to my house in Florida.
Oh, that's cool.
And like they hung out for a while, and I was like, you guys can just walk on the boardwalk like ahead of me, talk about guy stuff, and I'm just gonna fall back over here and enjoy the rays. So you know,
so it was convenient that you guys live close together.
No, like it was a little bit of a drive for him, like a 2-hour drive maybe, or an hour and a half. Okay. But he lives in the state. You know what I'm saying? Like from here, like even if like somebody lived like in South Jersey and you were coming from, you know, 1,200 miles away, you're just like, oh, I'll make the effort to come.
Yeah. Okay.
So he came, and it was really nice to see him and everything.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
Him and his wife were here again, so I figured, oh, it'd be nice to see them, you know.
Yeah.
I want to, like, meet his friends and be incorporated with him.
Absolutely.
So even though we were, like, beefing about the chicken situation, you know, we kind of squashed it before we walked in. And I walked in, and I saw, like, two girls, and then there was like a guy I didn't know and another girl, and then I saw the couple, who we knew.
This is a restaurant?
It's like a bar.
Okay.
And like going in, I was kind of like undercover. Like I have all these like irrational fears sometimes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is a bar my ex used to hang out at. Like it'd be weird if I ran into him, but you know, if anything, I'd be like, yeah, what up, so and so. This is so and so. You know.
Right.
I'm going over to my party. Bye. You know
what
I'm saying? So I walk in, and he like gives a hug to this girl, and like I think he said hi to the other girl, and she turned around, and he was like, Jen, this is so and so, this is Jen, just like that. Mm-hmm. And so was his ex-girlfriend of 8 years.
Damn.
Who the only woman who ever lived with.
Right.
And they shared dogs together, and I assumed at one point they thought the relationship was going somewhere further than that.
Right. They shared a life together.
Yeah. And even though they shared their life together between like the ages of like 23 and 31.
Yeah.
Which is young.
It is, but
But like my long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Like even though all my friends were friends with him, like if he were to be back in town, like it would be weird. Like I wouldn't talk to him or want to interact with him or whatever. And I don't think they interact much, although I know that they like went to Comic-Con together like 4 years ago.
Okay.
And like their families are still very much enmeshed. Like he's like friends with her siblings on social media and vice versa.
Yeah, yeah.
And he turned around. He was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know." And then he went up to his boy and he was like, "Yo, what the fuck? Like you could have warned somebody."
Yeah.
Now this is his boy who I've met twice before.
Yeah, yeah.
So you know me. We've talked about girl code, guy code shit before.
Yeah.
Like I just felt like a certain way because even though like this chick is like allegedly like both of their like, well, she's not his friend per se, but like the friend's friend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like that's still your boy. Like you could have called him and said, "Yo, I know you're probably with Jenn. FYI, this chick is gonna be here." You know, and then
so the friend, you guys met the friend at the bar.
Yeah.
Oh, so he didn't even know?
No, well, the friend knew, but my boyfriend didn't know.
Right. So how come the friend didn't tell your boyfriend?
I don't know, and he doesn't know either.
But okay, so when your boyfriend introduced you to his ex, did you know that was his ex or just a random chick?
Just because of Facebook stalking, I knew it was his ex.
Okay, but does your boyfriend?
No, I know. Yeah.
Know that you knew that
yeah.
she you know how she looks like,
right?
Oh, he knew that,
and I knew her name.
Okay, so why did he introduce you? Because you guys were like sitting close to each other?
No, like I had walked in and she was like sitting in a chair, like with her back to me, and like he walked up and gave her a hug, and I was like, I didn't know who she was. I thought she was just someone at first before I saw her face, like of the old crew or something.
Yeah,
and then when he introduced me and I saw her face, I was like, okay.
All right. What I'm trying to say is, when you guys walked in, could he have avoided saying hi to her?
I don't think he knew. No, she was part of the group.
Oh, that's what I'm not getting.
Yeah, part of the group who we were going to be hanging out with.
Oh,
so it wasn't like she was just there, like as if my ex was just there.
Yeah, I'm thinking that she was just there, just chilling, whatever. So I'm like, oh, she was a part of the group.
She was invited by his boy,
and the boy didn't take. Yo, so got you. That's dirty. All right, go ahead.
He went over and like kind of got in his boy's face, like, yo, you could have fucking told somebody, and then like I said hi to his wife, and I was like, oh, hey, how are you? Sorry, I missed you in Florida.
Yeah.
Whatever. But like my Sicilian blood was boiling.
Exactly.
And like I was like ridiculously heated, and I'm like, at one point, like, he went over to like the corner and he was like talking to his boy and he had his back to me, and then the wife had gone outside to like have a cigarette, and I was kind of just standing there
with the ex
by myself. Yeah, like they were there, and apparently like the girl who was with the ex was his brother's ex-wife. They're best friends.
Yeah, okay.
So they're like, everything is like super enmeshed, and here I am, and I'm just
the
like
outsider.
Right, and I'm just like enraged, and I'm standing there, and I just tapped him on the shoulder. I was like, I gotta get this call, and I like ran outside, and of course I called my girls. Like I called Heather, I called April. I was like, I know April's been in situations like this, and she just handles it a lot better than I do.
Yeah.
But she's been warned.
Yeah.
Like whatever. Like I think her boyfriend's ex is like part of, like, her family, like a family friend and everything.
Yeah.
And they didn't have a serious relationship.
Yeah.
Like they never lived together. They just kind of dated. Like they never like hooked up or anything.
Right.
They lived together for 8 years. They have pets together. They have They had a life together.
Yeah.
And like.
And oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know. I just felt like so enraged, and like Heather's just like, go in there and just calm down. I'm like, I can't. Like, if anybody knows me, knows that I don't know how to be fake. I don't know how to be nice to people if I don't like you.
Yeah.
And if I don't want to be somewhere, everybody knows that I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to turn that face off. It just doesn't happen.
And the thing is, now there's no way that the miscommunication isn't known by everybody now.
I don't know.
What I'm saying?
I didn't give a fuck, and that's the thing. Like,
no, not you, but like, it's gonna be awkward when everybody comes back. I'm sure it was awkward.
I didn't go back in.
Really?
No, I wasn't going to.
Oh shit!
I wasn't going to.
No, that's cool.
Because part of me felt like like pissed at his friend. Like,
yeah.
I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, you're his boy, that's fine. But like, you've been to my house. Like, at least have some kind of respect to be like, yo, heads up. If you don't want to bring her or whatever the case may be.
Yo, oh my God, yo.
And like, I wasn't mad at him. I was mad at the situation.
Of course.
But I was also mad about the way he introduced me. Like, I'm not some fucking Tinder date.
How did he introduce you?
You could have said, this is my girlfriend, Jenn.
Oh, he just said, this is Jenn?
Right.
Oh yeah, okay, I see it.
Because I could have been uber cunty and been like, oh, you mean so and so, your ex girlfriend? Yeah, I'm good. I'm out.
Yeah. No. I see it. I mean, yeah. Okay, I see it.
Like,
I'm sure he didn't mean anything by it.
I know he didn't because I know he was caught off guard. But I needed to tell him because I needed to tell him. And to be honest with you, I'll be straight up, and I told him too. I had a conversation with my ex.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, since we're all friendly with our exes now, I was like, can I ask you something? And I asked him, and he's like, I really don't know what to say. He's like, I'm not one to defend your new boyfriend. It's just not my place to, which I get. He's like, but what did you want him to do? He's like, what I really think you're upset about, and he's right, and he knows me enough to say that. He's like, I really think you're upset because he didn't give you the same respect that you give him, and that you make accommodations for him, i.e. taking all my pictures of me and my ex off Facebook, not talking to my ex at the wedding. I could have went up and given him a hug and said hi to him. Yeah. I don't have beef with him.
Yeah.
I don't hate him. We just didn't work.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to make my boyfriend feel uncomfortable at any point.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
Yeah.
And I made sure that I stood by my man's side at all times.
Yeah.
More so than I was by the bride as a maid of honor, to make sure that he knew that I'm here with you. I know I'm here with you.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving you with these people who you don't know.
Yeah.
And I have your back. And I felt like even though he was like caught off guard with the situation, I needed him to do that, and he didn't.
Yeah.
And I know he was thrown into the situation just as I was. I went out into the car, and I was very upset.
Yeah.
And he was just like, babe, I'm so sorry. He finally came out. It didn't take that long. It just seemed long to me. Yeah. And he was just like, babe, I'm so sorry. He's like, please don't be mad at me. I didn't know. I swear to you, I didn't know. And I'm like, I know you didn't know, but I don't want to be in this situation. I'm like, can you understand that?
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, I'm not fake. I can't be the person who goes up there. I'm like, hey, everybody, sorry, I just had an emergency. I have to come back in. Like,
yeah,
I'm not that person.
Yeah.
And
no, go ahead.
He was just like, what do you want me to do? I was like, you could do whatever you want. I was like, I was being a little bitchy. I was like, my ex-boyfriend's mom lives up the street. I'll just go talk to her. I was like, if you want to hang out here with your ex, I'm good. And he was like, babe, no. He's like, I didn't know. And I was like, look, I don't care what you say. If you want, I'll leave you here and drop you and pick you up in like an hour or something. I trust you. I know you're not going to do anything. I was like, I just don't want to be here.
Yeah.
I don't. And I think he went in and he said something like, I had an emergency with a family member, which I feel bad for him lying. But at the same time, like,
yeah, because
fuck your boy, because
everybody knows the truth now. I mean, okay. Like, you don't come in.
I didn't mean to come off like a little bitch, like I couldn't handle it, but I just didn't want to be in that situation.
Yeah.
And
you don't have to be.
I shouldn't have had to have been.
No, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to take, like, me. Shit. I mean, I probably would have took the L, but yeah. But I mean, of course.
It wasn't like when you were with your girlfriend and you ran into me and my boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't know I was going to be there at the comedy club.
Yeah.
And you had every opportunity to fully avoid me. I wasn't in your party. I wasn't sat at your table.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have fully avoided me, and that would have been fine.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be able to avoid her.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
What do you want me to talk about with her?
And it's not like you had. Well, you guys don't have beef, right?
Who?
You and the ex.
No, I don't even fucking know her.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, that's no. What I'm saying is, yeah, it's not like you. The issue is not like you guys have beef. It's just that you were put in a situation that was not beneficial to you. And it's not like she was gonna have beef with you. Like, oh, who's this bitch? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that at all. It's just that, like, whoa, what am I doing here? Like, I don't know. Like, if I was in the same situation, and let's say, I don't know, I think I'd freak out because when I heard the little snippet thing that you said, like, I really forgot what you said. Like, you were like, oh yeah, you said, oh, his girl of 8 years is here. Like, oh my God, because like that's like right now, that's like my worst fear. Because like you said, you have an irrational fear. Like, me too. Like, okay, you live in Jersey, and we've said before many times that my ex-fiance, well, used to live like 3 minutes away from you.
Right.
And you and I go,
around the area
in Jersey, whatever. I always get deathly afraid that I'm gonna run into her parents, her family, and one time that happened once with Kathy.
Right, when we ran into her.
We ran into
her folks. Yeah,
we ran into her parents, and the dad came up to me. But I'm more deathly afraid that I'm gonna run into her because, again, it's not beef. whatever. It's just that we had a life well, we didn't have a life together, but we were gonna have life together. I just don't want that to happen. It's not like I just don't want to. I don't want her to come up to me. I don't want to have to come up to her. I just don't. And it's not because of beef. Whatever. She's always gonna have a place in my heart, always. But I just don't want to deal with it. So I completely understand you just piecing out and going into the car and be like, no, I do not want to deal with this.
I just don't know how to be nice. I really just don't. I don't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to be fake. I don't know how to be. I cursed out my mom today. It's not that I don't love my mom, but she was being ridiculous. It's just like I don't know how to like be something I'm not. And like as an adult, if I'm talking to another adult, like if I don't like the way things are, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a problem, but it's very hard to do it like at work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I feel like I'm being disrespected, and I would have said something to his boy, like, dude, you've been to my house. Like, I don't just let anybody in my house. Like, you're part of his world. I've been in his world now for a year and a half. Like, you could have just said something. And I told him yesterday, I was like, yo, I Facebook stalked the bitch's page. I'm sorry. I did. I don't give a fuck. And, like, she knew weeks ago that he was coming here. So he knew that he had plans on meeting up with her.
That's messed up. Like, what? Has the question been answered?
No, because like he said he talked to his brother, and his brother was like, yo, I guess like that kid, the guy who from Florida, his like love of his life or whatever, was getting married this weekend, and he was like was invited to the wedding for whatever reason, and obviously he was bringing his wife.
Okay.
So he was like, obviously if he thinks it's okay to like bring his wife to that wedding, then he's not gonna think there's anything wrong with you and your ex-girlfriend meeting up with old friends from high school of this girl who used to date.
Right, but still, like...
Yo, I get it. You get it, Martini. It's not for everybody to get.
Yeah, I know, but
that's my fucking daily dish. I was heated. Obviously, I'm still heated about it.
No, and rightfully so, because excuse me? Like, if someone...
I kind of feel like a certain way about ever hanging out with him again.
If someone did that to me, man, and I walk in, let's say, like, I walk in with my chick, and then I see my ex-fiance with her husband now, and you don't tell me, I'm gonna be so lit. I'm like, you fucking
right?
Because
you have mutual friends that are like so friendly with her, right?
Some, yeah,
right,
yeah.
But that's the same thing I was trying to explain to him. Like, I was my ex's friend before I was his girlfriend, and all of my friends are still his friend. Yeah, and even though I'm like the quote unquote primary friend, right. Like, if somebody's having a party, they would tell him, hey, Jen's going to be here with her boyfriend. Do you feel okay with coming or not? Or, Jen, is it okay if I invite him? Yeah. And I would say yes or no, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah. And give me the option. Yeah. Don't just be like, oh, hey, y'all fucking know each other. You fucked for 8 years. Like,
yeah, okay. Like... Exactly, because you said it before. Yeah, what are you guys gonna talk about? I mean, granted, yes, we're all adults. We can find something to talk about. But like, yeah,
not even that. But she's just not the type of girl who I'd even be friends with. Right. She's like the type of girl who I'd fucking hate on, even if I didn't know her, which I don't. And I could just tell by the way she looks that I don't like her.
Yeah, and like, but the thing is, like, you guys don't ever need to interact. Like, I don't. Yes, I know how my ex-fiance's husband looks. I've Facebook stalked myself. I've admitted that before, but I don't ever need to say anything to him. No. Ever. There's no reason whatsoever. You know what I mean? And yeah, you and the chick have no reason to meet ever. No. And you did. Very awkwardly. And like, that's messed up. Like, I don't get it, man. That's so...
I couldn't even look in her face. He, like, asked me, like, oh, was her hair 2 different colors? I'm like, I didn't look at her that long, motherfucker. Yeah, right? As soon as I looked at her, I was like, And then my blood started boiling. And then I was like, I better go because I'm going to get that look on my face. Like, I'm going to murk somebody. And then everyone's going to be like, what's wrong with Jen? What's wrong with your girlfriend? Yeah. She's Sicilian and she has a bad attitude and she doesn't know how to hide it. I'm sorry. Yeah, she turns into a gremlin after midnight.
Yo, that's serious.
And because I've sowed my wild oats, I know that I don't got time for that shit. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's gonna happen again. But I don't have time for it. I don't want any of that. And I know everybody comes with baggage, which I guess in relation to the podcast, that's part of sowing your wild oats. Yeah. If you leave it behind, it's fine. But sometimes it just pops up. Mm-hmm. But You know, it's not like it's like one of those exes how like, oh, we dated a while, we weren't necessarily like in love, but you know, whatever. Like y'all lived together for a year, like for a hot minute. You know, I'm over here, I can't even get you to fucking move in with me, and you were like living with her and sharing pets and responsibilities. Like, okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's more. Yeah, yeah.
And mentally, it's kind of like she had what I want. You know. And
I can see that as an underlying factor.
You know, I don't want to sit there and discuss it with anyone. Yeah. I don't want to be.
You don't need to know any. You don't need to know.
And I was really excited about going out and like hanging out with his friends, like, and just incorporating myself more in his life, and I just fucked it up, man.
Yeah. Oh, totally. It wasn't so much that you were incorporating in his life. I mean that you guys were like incorporating like this new life together. You were front row seat to this is your life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For him, like his old friends, his ex-girlfriend that he's been there for 8 years. You don't want to know any part of that relationship that you just can't get from talking to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God.
And then he started telling me stuff about their relationship and like, oh, like she didn't let me have any female friends. I'm like, well, then motherfucker, you're already winning because I don't care who you deal with. I trust you.
Yeah, because you don't want her to like, you know, you guys talking about something, and of course, of the wedding thing was permeating
Apparently
around
she was a thought then. She seemed like a thought now, and I wasn't about that business.
No, but like, you know, I'm sure like talking about the wedding thing
right.
would have came up, and then like, oh, like remember that time that like we were picking like holes and shit.
Nah, buddy.
Yeah, that would have been crazy if you would have heard that. You were like, what? Nah. Yo, I'm out. You know what? Nah, I don't even need to check. Yo, you paying for my shit. I'm out. You know what I mean? So I totally feel that. Damn. I feel bad for you. I'm sorry.
It's all right. I survived it.
I know you did.
We made the best out of like.
But yeah, but if it was for me, yo, that dude would have been docked. Like, oh, you want to hang out with him again? Like, oh, you want me to hang out with him again? I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I don't know because he pissed me off.
And his wife was like, "Oh my God, you guys should come to Florida more." I'm like, maybe we will, so we don't have to risk running into this thought.
Yo, that is so real.
So,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Damn.
Anywho.
So the subject of the matter is sowing your wild oats necessary on the journey to finding love? So I saw this thing, and it pretty much summarizes how I feel on the subject. This was from where was this from? This was from Madame Noir. And it says, ask nearly any married person or heck, someone who's been in a relationship or tied down to one other person for long enough, and they'll be quick to advise people to have their fun now, usually with a heavy emphasis on the F in fun. Get it all out of your system now, some will say, or explore different things, all which boils down to having some type of experience that will only be appropriate for you to have while you're young and unattached. That's not a bad idea, nor is it unlike any other advice to go travel abroad or learn this or that skill before you're married or with kids. When you are your only priority, the sky is essentially the limit. But amidst this pro-wilding out encouragement is an undertone that if you don't get it, whatever it may be, out of your system now, you're going to regret it later and possibly ruin a good thing you have going at the time. Is that always the case? So, like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know, because, again, I am in it. Well, I don't want to say inexperienced. Like, but I haven't had sex with too many people. And it's like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Because let's say if I meet somebody who's great in like 2 months and then, all right, like this is the person that I want to marry, am I going to feel like, okay, so I didn't have a big sex life, but it's okay, you know, I'm married, blah, blah, blah. Or am I going to be like, oh man, I didn't like wild out like I was quote unquote supposed to. Or just like Jennifer was saying before, like, oh man, my fiance doesn't like this sexual thing, but I really wanted to test that out.
Right.
Like, what do I do?
I mean, I think if you have the chance to while you're single, you should do it. But I think that, I don't know. I mean,
and it's also and one thing we should
maybe when you
preface is like it's not as easy as everybody thinks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how all these dudes are getting ass like that, and like, yeah, I had this and blah blah blah. I'm like, yo, where do you go? Is there like a thoughts or rest or something like that where I can just like do what I need to do and then be like, I'm done now. Okay, cool. Cause like maybe thoughts or rest, that'd be awesome.
They eat thought pockets there.
Stupid.
And check their thought watch.
But yeah, so it's just like I don't know. I don't know. So I'm very interested in that. So of course I looked at articles and I saw one that's this is from the goodmenproject.com. And it says, why must men sow their wild oats? So I just thought that was interesting. And it says, as with all things in life, there are all types of people, and then everything in between. There are some young men who have a biological imperative to sow their wild oats, and there are some who are even-keeled and level-headed more often than not. Some men need to sow their wild oats for many reasons, one of which is high testosterone. Men with higher testosterone levels have higher sex drives, and consequently, they need to do more sowing. This is neither good nor bad, it just is what it is. On a spiritual level, I think that there are some people who learn about life through experimenting, getting into it with their sleeves rolled up, so to speak, and doing things so they can get feedback and learn. Some of it has to do with the environmental in which a person was raised. Some environments in experimentation, whereas some don't. I also believe that some men, present company included, don't want to walk around with regrets nagging at their souls, so getting it in as much as possible is almost life or death. Again, this is just nature of life. When talking about sowing our wild oats, we have to take age into consideration as well. Obviously, the highest sowing periods are during our teenage years and 20s, where that frontal cortex of our brain is still developing and affecting our logic and reasoning. With this phenomenon and necessity, as with all things in life, it has a beginning, middle, and end. Some people sow so much that they get tired, while some people can keep sowing until it's time to visit that big movie theater in the sky. The key is to determine what type of man you are, what type of man you have in your life.
Like if you sow too much, it might happen sooner than later.
Oh, shit.
Just
wow. The key is to determine what type of man you are and respond accordingly. In most cases, it's a matter of getting it out of your system and moving forward.
I can agree with all of that, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, sounds about right to me.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So I guess, not that I'm saying that I'm quote-unquote backed up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we did have that episode 69 episode. So that's not the case. But I think that's my fear. It's just like, yo, if I don't, I guess wild out is the most proper term. But like, yeah, if I don't like get it in, it's like, am I going to feel not fulfilled? But I don't know. But I feel... I know, OMG is right.
Sorry, that was my semi-infamous brother from Florida. His video just popped up.
But it's I don't know. In my head, for some reason, I feel that that's wrong. Just to go out there and get ass for my benefit.
This is the thing. Like when I guess like a lot of it happens like when people go like away to college or depending on like your group of friends when you're younger and like what you're doing, going to parties, like hooking up just kind of happens. And if for whatever reason it didn't happen for you, it just didn't. Like. So no one's saying to, like, go out there and, like, just have rando sex. But, like, if you're dating right now as, like, an older adult, like, 35 plus, like, then, there are a lot of women who, like, that's what Tinder's for. Like, who just kind of, like, are okay with just, like, casual dating and hooking up. And then, whatever's clever.
Yeah. It was funny that you mentioned that because I almost signed up yet again. On Twitter,
Tinder,
on Tinder, and Happen on both of those things, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna see if I could just rock with these for a bit. I haven't as of yet because I wanted to talk about it with you.
But this is the thing. Your mindset is different, and when you go into these, like, even if it's Tinder, for the most part, I feel like you go into them like, oh, it'd be nice to have a relationship. Let me see if I can find someone who I'd have a relationship with.
Right.
You know, and maybe you need to go into the ones who are just saying, unfortunately, just looking for casual hookup or casual sex or.
But women don't like that.
There are women who are looking for it, though. There are women who put it in their profile.
But here's the thing. I think we've talked about this before, and also I think you told me this answer, that women don't need to go on that to look for ass. They're just women. They'll get that.
I bet you if you went on there, you'll see people who are just look. Just next time you go on, just look.
No, but I had before when I used to go on Tinder, and the first thing that they would put, not here for hookups.
Right, but I mean,
I know that's not all of them, but a lot of them are like, not here for hookups. So if you're looking for that, swipe left. You know, to say no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't look at me, you know? So.
But I don't think that they're all out there for that.
No, I hear that. But I doubt that some of them would be like, yeah, here for some dick. You know, like, women like being discreet.
I don't know. I don't know what women want anymore. I barely know what I want these days.
No, but that's the funny thing is, because while I was thinking about this and I was thinking about how am I going to present this, like to you and I guess to the audience, because I was like, do women have to do women sow oats? Because that's usually tied. That
I think I've spoken to some women who have only been with like a few people, and depending on like what school you come from, like old school, new school, like some people are completely fine. You know, you see some like I know some parents, like of my friends' parents, who married like one person, only slept with one person. Yeah. You know, and that's it, and they're fine with that for the rest of their life. Like, even if they're like, you know, other husband passed, they're done. They're not gonna like go meet anybody else. You know, and then there's other people like who have had other relationships and other like sexual interactions, and you know, it's different. But like now, since sex is like all the craze, you know, I mean, maybe women are having it more so that they don't feel, but there's like no real guy out there. If like some girl was like, I want to try this, he won't be like, no honey, that's not for me.
No, I was wondering, I was like, yeah, do women need to sow their wild oats too? Because that phrase and connotation is just tied to men all the time, because men are the ones who are pursuing the girl to like fuck whatever. And I saw this and this was on Madame Noir, and it was said do women need to sow their wild oats? And I found that interesting, because I was like, how am I gonna bring this up to like Jennifer? It's like, I don't care, this is a men problem. But it was like it goes on to say there seems to be this fear that if women don't sow their oats pre-marriage, their curiosity later down the line may literally kill the cat and their relationship as they seek to enlighten their curious minds. I imagine for some spouses who have lived sheltered lives, perhaps settling down with a high school sweetheart or something like that, they would eventually want to have some other experiences with some other people. But for women who aren't naturally interested in knowing a lot of men in the biblical sense, I don't think you can assume across the board that by their 10th wedding anniversary, they're going to be searching for something new. And let's not forget, a lot of people aren't even thinking about marriage these days. What's there to sow in those cases? When it comes down to it, you have to know yourself and what you really want. You can't sow oats you don't really want to sow just because everyone else tells you you should. And in the same token, you shouldn't limit yourself sexually because you're worried about the social repercussion for what you've sown. The bottom line is, you need to do you, and if that includes a few other people too before someone puts a ring on it, so be it.
Okay.
All right. Oh man.
I guess I'm cool.
You're good?
I mean, yeah, I don't really have a like an opinion in either way. Like, I think if you feel like you have to do it before you get married, right, that avoids you cheating. Yeah. So.
That's true too. Yeah. And then just one last thing, I saw this statistic. It was on, of course, goodnewsflorida.com. And it was like it's a Christian site and whatever, and they're talking about someone did a study on the number of sexual partners women had before marriage and the divorce rate within 5 years after. His report, Counterintuitive Trends in the Link Between Premarital Sex and Marital Stability, provided these results for the 2010s. So, virgin brides, 6% divorce rate. If you had one partner, it shot up to 21%. If you had two partners before marriage, 30%. If you had three partners before marriage, 25% divorce rate. If you had 4 to 5 partners before marriage, 24%. If you had 6 to 9 partners before marriage, 26%. And if you had 10 plus partners before marriage, it's 33%. So I found that interesting.
Okay.
You'll have 33% likely marriage within the first 5 years. Within the first 5 years of marriage, you'll get a 33% chance of getting divorced. So it's just interesting. Not to say that that's what's gonna happen to you or anything like that. It's just something to think about. But yeah. So I mean that's pretty much the end of the podcast. But yeah, that's just for me. I guess
I'm trying to find like a song for today. I honestly don't have one. There was a country song, but it was like a little whack.
No. I mean, you can keep going, but I mean, you can just try to find it. But yeah,
there's nothing.
There's nothing. But yeah, it's just that like I'm really missing a chick. You know, it's so funny. I was telling this to I went out to dinner with Daniel. Daniel and his wife. If anybody remembers that, Daniel's one half of Poly Games. We had him on as guests before. So I went out with Daniel and his wife. I was telling the both of them, that I caught the lonely bug and stuff, and I was missing stuff, and he says, and maybe you can attest to this, and he was like, "Yo, dude, if you're lonely, man, dude, just get a dog." And I was like, "A dog?" And he's like, "Yo, you will never feel lonely again once you get a dog."
I kind of believe that.
I was like, yeah.
It doesn't have the same kind of effect.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I was like, why did you bring that? Because he has an awesome dog. And I see it all the time. I see him all the time when I go to their house. And it's true. I totally understand that. But it's like, yeah, it's just a different kind of affection, that a pet can bring to you. So I understood what he was talking about. But I was like, bro, come on, man. It's like, dog can't give me what I want. So just found that interesting. So have you had any luck finding
there's a song here. I don't really know what it's about, but by all means, it's by Chris Janson, Janson, and it's called So Wild Oats, Buy Me a Boat. I don't really know what the lyrics are,
right.
But
damn, there was a
or maybe it's just called Buy Me a Boat.
You know what song that one of the articles talks about? I forget who sings the song, but it's called Shop Around. My mama told me you better shop around, shop around. So that's what that was. So that's what that song's talking about.
Oh, that might be a good one.
Sowing Your Wild Oats. So I forget who sings that song, but by the time you listen to this,
we'll have it all figured out.
So it's all good. So yeah. So everybody out there, what do you feel?
Sow your oats.
Should you sow your oats, or should you be like, nah, I'm good? Because there is a wide faction of people, just like you said, like Christians. They'll wait.
Oh yeah, there's a Bible verse. I just read it. Is it like?
Oh, go ahead. Let's hear it.
No, I'm not gonna preach on this podcast. Sorry.
No, I mean you can just say it.
I gotta find it.
People know where your stance is. Just because you say it, that doesn't mean like you're about it. We like getting all perspectives on this podcast. Don't do that.
Hold on.
Yeah, but while she's looking for that, yeah. So, do you feel that you should sow your wild oats or like keep it to yourself? Because, like, again, Christian people they wait until marriage and they're good. Well, seemingly they're good, But the thing is, to add devil's advocate to that, a lot of Christian couples, as soon as they like discover each other, not sexually, but like since they're dating, they get married super quick, like before like a year. Like, I remember that because I remember my ex-fiance would tell me that she went to Christian school, like college, and a lot of the people, once they found each other, they would get married before a year because they couldn't wait. They couldn't wait to have sex with each other, but they knew that the only way that they could have sex with each other is if they got married. So a lot of them would get married super quick.
All right. So Psalms 25, 7-17 says, "Forget that I sowed wild oats. Mark me with your sign of love. Plan only the best for me, God. God is fair and just. He corrects and misdirects, send them in the right direction. He gives rejects his hand and leads them step by step. From now on, every road you travel will take you to God. Follow covenant signs, read the charted directions. Keep up your reputation. God, forgive my bad life." Apparently God thinks it's bad. It's been a very bad life. My question, what are you God worshippers like? Your answer, arrows aimed at God's bullseye. They settle down in a promising place. Their kids inherit a prosperous farm. God, friendship is for God worshippers. They are the ones he confides in. If I keep my eyes on God, I won't trip over my own feet. Look at me, help me. I am all alone and in big trouble. My heart and kidneys are fighting each other. Call a truce. This is civil war. That's kind of fucking deep. Oh, sorry, but whatever. I don't like talking about the Bible and cursing at the same time, but it is pretty deep. Like,
yeah,
because it's basically like in real life, not Bible life. Like, maybe if you feel like it's gonna be a war within yourself,
yeah,
maybe just do it. Get out of your system as long as nobody's getting hurt. It's like not like you're cheating,
right?
You know, yes, it's against the Bible, but depending on what your religion says, like, whatever, depends on how religious you are, you know. But if it is pure religion or it is like what you want, then just don't do it. I mean, just be happy with whatever God or your God or whatever
you follow
gives you.
Yeah.
And if it's a woman who doesn't like anal sex, then yay God.
Yeah.
Get a sex toy and call it a day.
Yeah. If you take anything from this episode, no butt sex, all right?
It's on my do not list.
So the audience, we pass it to you. Do you want? Should you sow your wild oats or not? Give us email us at bedlovebeyond@gmail.com, or you can go to our website and listen to and see all these articles and find the song that we were talking about, and we'll also have the quote that Jennifer wrote that she said. That'll be at www.bedlovebeyond.com. You can give us a call or text us at 201-862-8BED. That is 201-862-8233. There you can go to our Facebook page and like our Facebook page and talk to all of our 90-plus fans on Facebook at facebook.com/bedlovebeyond. And you can follow us on all social media platforms at bedlovebeyond on Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, and YouTube. All right, so I am Martini.
Still Jen.
That is the end of the show. We will see you guys.
Peace.